The people who live near Fort Knox have heard pretty much all the conspiracy theories.
Who would have taken the gold?
As far as the missing gold, I don't know. I don't have anything to do with that.
About the federal facility at the heart of town where a huge chunk of the country's gold supply is stored. What's not a secret, President Trump's long love affair with gold, from bars with his name on it to signs outside his Manhattan home. And that famous golden escalator that started his political career. He's now making a promise to find out once and for all, is the gold still there?
We're actually going to Fort Knox to see if the gold is there, because maybe somebody stole the gold. Tons of gold. Wouldn't that be terrible if we opened it up and there was no gold there?
If the gold isn't there, we're going to be very upset.
Despite the president's speculation, there's no evidence the gold is not there, which we'll get into in just a bit.
Fort Knox is one of the most secure places in this country, so I am 100% sure that the gold is there.
But those conspiracies, almost as old as the first deposits back in 1937.
Minimum offensive fire until I signal bomb has been neutralized.
With the mystery driven by the 1964 James Bond film Goldfinger, after its villain tried to tank the economy by ruining the gold supply. Of course, the U.S. doesn't rely on gold anymore to back the dollar, a change finalized by Richard Nixon in 1971, but we still keep a ton of it, or really tons of it, locked up. An expert we asked told us it's basically collateral.
There might be foreign currency reserves, there might be gold reserves, and this increases the confidence that the dollar is sound.
The U.S. Mint says about half of the country's gold is at Fort Knox. The whole thing built under thousands of tons of steel and concrete, heavily guarded. And secrecy is part of the point.
This is for the unbelievers. Okay.
The vault only opened twice since FDR. The first time in September 1974 for a group of journalists and members of Congress to dispel rumors the gold was gone. The second time during the first Trump administration, when then Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin got a look for himself.
The gold was there when I visited it. I hope nobody's moved it. I'm sure they haven't.
So did Kentucky's Republican governor at the time, who's dismissing the conspiracies this week.
It is so ridiculously secured that it is not possible to sneak anything out of there.
In fact, it's so secure, they don't want us filming anywhere near that building that has the gold. This is about as close as we could get. So where could the president have gotten the idea that the gold might not be there? As with so many right-wing conspiracies, Alex Jones, the man who had to liquidate his assets to pay for massive defamation verdicts over the lies he spread about the Sandy Hook school shooting.
In the last 40-something years, most of our gold was sent overseas.
Then picked up in a tweet by Elon Musk, who said it'd be cool to do a walkthrough at Fort Knox.
Yeah, we want to go see it.
But even the president's new Treasury Secretary says everything is accounted for.
We do an audit every year, so the audit that ended the year September 30th, 2024, all the gold is present and accounted for.
It's all getting extra attention as the price of the precious metal hits records, close to $3,000 an ounce. But that gold at Fort Knox is not on the market. Back in town, residents embracing their role, and the people say they're ready for the president's visit, whenever that might be.
Oh, I'd love to see him come to Fort Knox. It'd be awesome.
The president wants to come. Let's see us before our kids.
Whether that proof would be enough to convince naysayers is an open question.
Steven Romo is live for us. Where else outside Fort Knox? Are those the lights? I think those are the lights behind you back there. It's interesting because this area is near some counties that voted for President Trump, by like 75 to 25, basically. I can imagine they would want him to visit if he actually will, but I'm not sure there's any indication that those plans are actually concretely in the works.
Yeah, it's a weird dynamic, to be honest, Hallie. The people here are certain. They're pretty sure that gold is still in there. They think they would see if it had been moved out. But they also welcome the president to come and visit. They think that he's probably wrong to even doubt that it's here, but they would be glad to see him. There's a lot of support for him here, so they say it'd be historic, and they'd love to. I would have loved to have gone and checked myself, but like you mentioned, this is about as close as we can get. You can see those lights off in the distance. Yeah, that's where the gold is.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.